Hello, everyone, and welcome to another segment of Leaders of Asia. We have with us today Mr. Sonal Verma, partner and global leader at Dhir and Dhir Associates. In this segment, we are going to talk about ESG and its importance for organizations. White Page International has selected Sonal as one of the 100 inspirational leaders of Asia 2022. Under his leadership at Dhir and Dhir Associates, which is a premier full-service law firm in India, India's first dedicated ESG practice desk in a law firm was set up in January 2021. The objective is to create consciousness towards the environment, human rights, and ethical business conduct, irrespective of the type of business. Sonal has also worked in a senior position with a leading Big Four in legal risk transformation projects. He did his LLM from the University of Northampton in UK. He also has successfully completed executive courses like Howard University Mentor Program, Strategy and Sustainability from IIM Bangalore, Regulatory Compliance Specialization from University of Pennsylvania, and Data Ethics, AI, and Responsible Innovation from the University of Edinburgh. Hi, Sonal. How are you doing?
Thanks, Zoya, for the very, very kind introduction, I would say. It really feels good to hear all those nice things. Great. I think it's a great journey. I think ESG has been a transformational journey for everyone in the industry. And I would say that today, when we see the benefits of ESG for the organizations in general, there are a lot. And I think we'll go in more discussion of it as we discuss on more key elements on ESG.
But everyone is aware of the benefits of ESG for the environment, both social and economic. But we want to talk to you about the benefits of ESG for the organization itself.
Okay. I would take the best example out here. Every company has a corporate website, right? How many of these websites are aligned to the American Disabilities Act, which later on the World Wide Web came up with the Website Content Accessibility Guidelines? Mid-June, the next version 2.2 will be out. That, fine, is your website can be supported on a Braille dashboard? Inclusion, that's one of the key elements of the S part. Fine, you have a website, the senior management loves 5 languages because they see customers or interactions in that 5 languages, but you're missing so many other customers because of language barriers. And each of these companies will have a policy called diversity, equity, inclusion. Let's start it from the website. So it means a lot, and more we get into the analysis of a company. Today, you see right from the customers, the shareholders, everyone in the supply chain, all employees, they are all somewhere connected in this ESG journey. So if the governance fragment fails, whatever you're trying to do on the environment bit will get diluted. If there was corruption in the company, you got huge solar modules put up at your factory to offset the thermal energy being used. But no, I have a problem with my anti-bribery, anti-corruption things. That money went somewhere else. So all the 3 elements very much needed, I would say, to keep the business continuity, to keep the reputational part, to attract new investors and to keep the existing investors with you. So it's not only that zero carbon mission, which everyone is talking about, 2050, 2070. Maybe those people would retire till then. And they're saying, okay, maybe it's greenwashing. I could just say, put a pledge, have some documents, but in 4 years, there will be someone else who will implement. All companies aren't doing it, so don't take me for that. But there's a great element of greenwashing, which is seen in the organizations across the globe. And there is where I would say investors are particularly, and shareholders are getting conscious. Show us your ESG frameworks. And that's what we do.
Okay, so speaking as someone with a law degree, do you think that better compliance to the regulatory frameworks that exists in a country leads to better performance as well for the organizations?
Yes, very much. I would say the amount of investment India has attracted post Companies Act new version in 2013, which got lots of proper compliance structures, reporting in a particular manner. We have seen huge investments flowing because of a certain level of comfort that from the 1956 era, Indian government is going for a change. And change is the only constant. And what we see that on the compliance and regulatory frameworks, where I have spent most of my life with possibly fairly uh, big companies, helping them out to set it up, it is no more a question of a choice. You have to do it. Years of reputation, we have seen right in the US, from Enrons, so many disasters. Once people find, okay, there were compliance loopholes, fine. Investors are the first people to get off, and then remaining things happen. Like in from January 2022 in India, we are seeing all sorts of news television channels talking about a certain fintech, some other startup unicorn, some type of corporate governance lapse. God knows that doesn't give a right picture to the world community in any country, nation, any country. Believe me, if compliance aspects are fine, it's a subset of the G part in the ESG, but very important for the reputational aspects and the investors' confidence that fine, on the right side of law, my investment in that country is good. Or if you want one good example I can take, is somewhere in some states in India, at certain factories, they want physically challenged people to be employed as per law. Companies go ahead and say, we don't get them. And fine, they can do some jobs, but we don't get them because the employment exchange of the state doesn't have them. Fine, I think all these big companies are using private recruiters for every other position. So at that worker level, fine, if I want to find to keep my commitment on diversity, inclusion aspects, I would go ahead and do it. So they are fine. Non-compliant also, and the greenwashing which I was talking about, fine. We are doing everything in our code of conduct. We have written on ESG, other things. We will be compliant by all laws. But when it comes things like it, we were not wrong. We tried to find. We don't get them. Can you believe that? So those are the ground issues which over a period of time, more education levels with the management people, things are improved.
Hopefully, but talking about the current scenario, everything has been affected by pandemic so much. The pandemic has completely changed our perspectives, and I think that one thing that emerged out of this pandemic is that there has been a lot of focus on sustainability for organizations and a general view of people. So do you think that ESG is going to have a bigger role in the coming future, like it's going to be the next big thing?
It's already the big thing for a simple reason. If you see, uh, there are two performance standards called the Carbon Disclosure Project, CDP, and the other one is a UN-run initiative called the UNPR. Now, to both of these protocols, investors, bankers globally have pledged that they will go ahead with the ESG principles laid down by these bodies. And you will be surprised that trillions of dollars worth assets are parked under these two performance standards, maybe 5 times more than the US 20 trillion economy. So post the pandemic, the difference what has happened, companies were really following more on, I would say, all due respect, the CSR fundamentals, the GRI fundamentals, because it was whatever were the risks were internal. But COVID-19 brought a situation of external risks. And ESG, being a far more bigger superset, became the sustainability journey platform. So today, I would say, be it in India, in Asia, any of the companies you talk or their financial advisors, one of their investors or maybe all of them would be a signatory to either of these two CDPs or even PRI. And they are now pushing companies over the last 2 years. Push will increase, that show us your ESG alignment journey. You cannot be 100% ESG compliant. If any company says that, sorry, there's completely wrong. It is not a compliance, it's a philosophy to scale up your business. Because simple is, if you see today, millennials have got a voice, right? They are becoming a major consumer, and they are trying to buy things, or their thought processes, planet, people, profit. Maybe 2 generations before, it was only profit, profit. So if they are able to see that this company is on that journey, doing its bits, like in the town hall, the CEO talks openly about the rights of LGBTQIA people in the company. You would retain talent better, you will make them even your customers, and the message of goodwill will go. So that will definitely lead to more profits. So I think pandemic really gave that push to check upon the externalities. And with this investor push and the regulatory push, lots of things happening in Europe, Asia, US, like Feb 23, EU passed the Business and Human Rights Directive, which was pending for last 2 years. That fateful morning when the war started, luckily it was passed before that. So yeah, I think it is already a big thing.
So, Sonal, my final question for you will be how do you feel about getting featured in 100 Inspirational Leaders of Asia?
I think it's just an absolute to feature in platform and had my voice heard. And it's just fantabulous. If you had a word, I would have said that. And lots of thanks over the last 2 years, all the support which I've got from the firm, especially the managing partners, Mr. Alok Dhir, Ms. Manisha Dhir, and the CEO, Ms. Poonam Bisht. It has been just too good. And I would be saying that by being featured on this particular 100 Inspirational Leaders of Asia, it gives a very great messaging to lots of professionals in Asia that yes, ESG is something we all would need to imbibe today, tomorrow, and people are recognizing talents coming from them. So I think it's been really great. And as a lawyer, I think we have been a voice for people always. It's time to be voice for both the planet and the people and the profitability of companies. So yes, all three things are very much possible by being on the ESG.
Thank you so much, Sonal. Thank you for sharing these amazing pointers with us. And thank you so much for being so considerate towards the environment and everything good in general. Thank you. And see you all in our next segment. Till then, take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.